Women's Talk Live. I am your girl, April J.
I'm SassyScribe.
And we have two special guests with us today. This is we're going into our 9th season.
Wow.
And what we decided to do was once a month, we would do a Facebook Live, Women's Talk Live edition. And we're going to have some guests. We're going to be talking some smack. It's not going to be like our regular TV show.
No, it's not.
Where I think we're not tame on that either.
No, we are because we have.
But we're a little dressed down.
Yeah.
So.
No, but we're tame on there because we have the, it's on television.
Yeah.
The internet is different than TV. We can say different things.
Right.
And we make a disclaimer at the very beginning of each show. Yeah.
So we're
I'm allowed to say anything now.
I know, she got her Prince glass. I'm jealous. We're going to introduce our guests for this evening. And I am super, super excited because yesterday, I had the opportunity to get a Yoni steam, and I still feel wonderful.
Been telling them about the steams. For how long have I been telling y'all about the steams?
A while.
Okay.
All right.
A while,
yeah. But we want to introduce Miss Prity. She is a mother, a wife, and an entrepreneur. Let's put that in there. She's a Black female entrepreneur. All right. And she's been a nurse since 1994.
Yes.
That's a long time.
A long time.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
And she is the owner of this beautiful spa, Serenity Wellness Studio. And you can get anything here, massages, the yoni steam,
lashes, eyebrows,
all
facials.
that. And she even got a boutique. And Sassy was already shopping.
Yes, I'm already shopping.
And so if you want to come here, it's located at 6077 Harford Road, all right, in Baltimore, Maryland. So if you in the DMV area, you may want to come in. I had somebody hit me and said, well, the closest one I said was DC. I don't know nothing about DC, honey.
Yeah.
Come to the one in Baltimore. All right, and it's a full-service spa. So tell us a little quick about what you do here.
Serenity is a wellness center. I'm a nurse. My husband is a licensed massage therapist and a personal trainer.
Okay.
So we figured that we will help people be more proactive in their wellness instead of reactive in their sickness.
Okay.
I like how you
I know. It was
Now look, I met Miss Prity, oh my God,
12 years ago.
12 years ago.
Really?
We were doing an event at a good book, I don't think it's there anymore, but it was a bookstore in Woodlawn. And that's where we met.
really.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing each other at different events throughout. Yes.
I actually met Miss Pretty at an event. I think we were doing the workshops.
Oh, yeah, we were doing workshops for to help new entrepreneurs.
And I was so in because you were talking about the creams and the lotion. Now she has a whole lot.
Her body scrub?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So I was like, oh my gosh, I love that. So ever since then, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, the word Miss Pretty, I know people like, how dare she? But it's actually an acronym. It's a mission statement, personal right to be into you. All of my businesses surround self-focus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
You heard that, all of her businesses.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
All right.
It is.
Now, Jess, you want to introduce our next
Okay, I'm going to introduce our next guest because the next guest is very personal for me. I've known him all of my life. I watch his. But
I know. I got you.
We got real history.
She know him a lot.
We are high school alumni. That type of history. Our parents know each other type of history. Know each other. So just watching the journey that he took and his rise and everything professionally as well as personally, I'm very proud of him. This is Mr. Rod Womack of Antonio. We call him growing up. But Rod is a real estate developer. I'm serious.
That's it.
But he's a real estate developer and the author of Redwood. Y'all remember Redwood Grill? It was on Charles Street. I remember growing up, I used to go to all of those bars, just 1, 2, 3, 4, right up the block. Had fun times.
Yes.
And he's also, which is available at the redwoodbook.com, and he's currently working on a second book, which will be available soon. So, welcome.
Absolutely, thank you.
Welcome back to Women's Talk.
Right.
You know what?
I miss y'all.
Let me tell you.
We look a little different now.
Right. But let me tell you, because Rod was on one of our shows, which was the MeToo movement we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And that aired in Charlotte. And let me tell you, that was one of the highest rated shows.
Great. Let's do it again.
Yes.
Let's do it
We're
again.
going to talk about it again. We're going to talk about it again.
Right now. All right, so listen, we're going to take a really, really quick break. But when we come back, we're going to get into our famous Twitter facts. Because you know that was famous on our radio show. And then we're going to get into a little bit of news. Because there's been some stuff that went
You think just a little bit of stuff just happened? Just a little teeny
Just a
bit.
little bit. Just a little bit. All right, so don't go anywhere. We have more of Women's Talk Live coming up next. And welcome back to Women's Talk Live. Our conversation's not there.
They heard it all.
Yeah.
We are live at the Serenity Wellness Studio at
6077 Harvard Road. See, that's what happens when you in your Prince class. That's all right, though. Sorry,
Miss Prity, I'm going to get it right before the night is over.
All right, so listen, we want to get into some of our Twitter facts. Our Twitter facts are always extremely interesting. So,
originally created by one of our former co-hosts, right?
Our co-host, our producer,
Kenda
B, and hopefully she'll be joining us.
Hopefully,
one of these shows. Yeah. All right, so our first, yeah, you heard that. Kenda. All right, our first Twitter fact is married people are more likely to masturbate than people living alone.
Probably.
I know.
Probably. We got some men in the room. We'll say you.
Wait a minute. You got a married woman in the room.
Yeah. That's probably real.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm not married. You can't look at me. I'm a single woman.
I'm divorced. So.
I'm single.
Well, I'm married as a mug. And before I do that, I might have to cross the lines of the MeToo movement. You know, you sitting right here, I'm sitting right here. Why am I going to use this when I got you?
Okay. Yeah, you probably would get jumped in my
Oh, yeah. Some pills. I'm a nurse. Some pills, some twirls, some squirrels, and I'm happy.
Oh, she said.
I think it depends on how long you've been married. I think that has a lot to do with it. 3 years into the marriage, that's probably not the case. 20 years into the marriage, it might be a little different. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to leave it there. I'm just saying.
I don't have nothing to look forward to. I have nothing to look forward to. I mean, 20 years. I know couples that are 20 years in and they seem very happy. I don't get intimate. I don't get into the intimate details, but they seem touchy-feely and happy. Look at Rod is like, okay.
All right, so I'm probably the only one here who's divorced, and I was married for 17 years.
Behind the camera, we have one that's divorced too.
Divorced too, yeah.
How long were you married?
Yeah, listen, 17 years, and I think maybe the last 5 years, I probably was like,
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? What if there's, because I've known people.
But I'm single now.
But I know people where their spouse had like medical issues, and it took them 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years to move through that process. What do you do?
But you know what?
That's a big part of it.
Right. But I think the long, like she said, after a while, you've been married for a long time, you start getting into these old patterns after you start having kids, and then after a while, you kind of like, you're more roommates.
Right.
Then you get, but that's the point. What I'm saying is that as married couples, you need to continue to keep that spice. You have to continue to keep that, going on date night.
Miss Prity, how long have you been married? I'm sorry. How long
I've been married 8 years.
8 years.
8 years.
Okay. Do you and your husband still do date night?
Oh, we better. That's how he got me.
They do date night because I see them on live.
Yeah.
She posted on social media. They do date night.
Yes, we goes out. I think one of the things that keep our marriage so great, because we only knew each other a month.
Wow, before y'all
got married.
Y'all heard that? 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 years in. That's good.
8 years in, and I think what keeps us so fired up is we never lose appreciation for each other.
Right.
I think when you start looking at people with your head turned to the side, you need to check yourself.
Right. Right. Ooh. Yeah. She said
y'all heard that? I believe you do need to check yourself.
You do.
A lot of people get in there their own way. Like I troll the internet, and I tell people all of this. I troll social media, especially these groups, because I get a lot of content, not only for this show, but for my radio show. And just some of the things that women say, I see why you sit home every Friday night or every Saturday night, and I see why you're home and why you're not getting phone calls and why you're not going out, because of the, I said it, because of the things that you said. And the things that you do, you know, and it turns men off. It's certain things that you say that turn men off, so they don't even want to try. If, for instance, don't slide my inbox. They gonna stay me in my inbox. He can't do this. He can't do that. Don't do this. Don't. Like, you gotta have a starting point. You gotta have a process.
I've said to my very single, beautiful, educated, 3 homes, 2 cars, 3 girlfriends,
with all of that remote control on the other side of the bed,
is because you are looking for, what are you bringing? If this is what you want, why would he want you?
Right.
Yeah,
can you say that? Repeat that.
I mean, you got to bring more to the table than the appetite. You want this perfection, and where will he sit? Okay.
Out back in the porch.
Not with you.
I mean, I tell you one thing. I'll say this to you, that it's a difference between, you know, single and married. You already said it, April. And I think that's a serious topic, right? And it really doesn't get enough attention.
Right.
But you know, look, being married is one of the most difficult things, especially if you've been married for over, let's just say, 10 years. It's not easy being married. It's it's tough. It's a tough road. It's a lot of work.
It is.
And so because of that work, back to that tweet, right? Look, the bottom line is that depending on the situation, whether it's health, stress, kids, there's a lot of things that money is part of that stress. All of that can impact what's going on in your private life. And so, you know, you could be going through any number of things that cause you to have to or not want to be as sexually engaged with your partner. Therefore, you have to take care of yourself on that one. You know, you could very well find yourself in that situation. And that's what it is. So you either have a choice, you know, when you're married and you're in one of those situations. If it's a long-term, let's say, health situation. Either spouse could be hospitalized for some time. What do? You have choices, and your choice could be that or, you know.
It's the same way that people right now are frying B. Smith's husband. I mean, all over the internet, that's all you see, that people are getting on him for having a girlfriend while his wife is, but she has dementia. So we don't know what agreement that husband and wife made with each other. We don't know any of that.
You know, I think one interesting thing is that when you have a business, because for mine, we had a business together. So our business kind of took over our marriage. But, you know, the business was, you know, successful, but it kind of spilled into our marriage.
Not saying a word.
I know.
That's tough. Yeah, owning the business together with yourself.
So real quick, let's do one more Twitter fact before we go. So here we go. The aroma of wine can arouse both men and women. The scent of many wines are believed to replicate human hormones, the chemical substance that cause behavioral responses in humans.
That's too much.
Well, I mean, if you remember,
it's really deep,
but if you think about it, the aroma and everything, like
but the way in which you have to smell the wine and taste the wine,
especially red wine.
It arouses,
red wine.
Red wine.
That's why I ain't drinking, because 3 glasses of red wine.
And then that's you
Sassy is all different person.
got songs about this.
Yes, they do red wine.
Now, see, you go home to your wife and, you know, spice things up.
Thank you, April. Okay. And I will definitely take that into consideration, might be.
That is going to be a great segue into our next segment.
Great segue. All right, so listen, when we come back, we're going to get into our topic for today's show, the most unprotected species. And a lot of people hit me up, and I think Sassy too.
Yeah, well, I had a deep conversation this morning. I said, I'm not even in the right headspace to have this with you right now, because I got to get into my mind state of Sassy.
Okay.
They weren't feeling me, but I don't care. I'm sorry. Probably watching.
But listen, before we get into that, because I do want to get into one news topic before we kind of slide real quick. All right, one news topic, because we have a, trust me, when you see this, it's crazy. But when we come back, we have more Women's Talk Live coming up next. All right, and welcome back to Women's Talk Live.
I'm SassyScribe.
And I'm April J. And our special guest, A-Rod.
And Miss Prity,
Prity.
aka
Yes, and we are here in Miss Prity's most beautiful establishment, Serenity Wellness Center. And like I said, I had a wonderful experience yesterday. I got me a whole beauty stain, and I am so wonderful. I got rid of a whole.
I told you it would get rid of everything. It would get rid of everything. I'm telling you, cleanse your soul. It'll cleanse the essence of other people out of your system.
Let me tell you, I was so on a high. I slept so good last night.
Yes, you did. Now get yourself some waist beads and get them infused with Reiki.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what Sassy got on right now.
This is why I get in trouble with her. All right. So listen. So real quick, we're gonna get into one little news segment. So yeah, because this one was very interesting.
Okay.
But as we all know, Roger Ailes, who is the super best friend or bestie.
No, that's not Roger Ailes.
No, not Roger Ailes.
No.
I'm sorry.
That's not Roger. Is dead, I think. Is he dead?
No, he did die. He did die.
Yeah.
God forgive me. Did he die yet?
No. He did die. Yeah. Think he had a heart.
You talking about the penguin?
Oh my Lord.
The one that came out. I mean, he was the height of white privilege when he came out like this.
Exactly. No. Hey, can we pull that up
Rick
for
Scott.
everybody to see?
No.
What is his name?
No.
Oh my God! This is what
because
happened.
I should know this.
Yeah,
I should know this because I've been watching the
so
news all day.
everybody at home sees on the screen. He came out with two hands up like this.
What's his name?
And you know what?
If you see him on the screen, what's his name?
I had his.
We look real stupid right now. This man's name.
He's a white guy.
But
we had him.
Cousin.
He was one of Donald Trump's.
He has Nixon's face tattooed on his back, like he's serious about it.
Roger Stone.
Roger Stone. That's
okay.
it. Roger
so Roger Stone came out with two hands like this, and right next to it, if you see on at home, Richard Nixon had the same pose when he came off Air Force One.
Right. This is, but everybody, they don't unfortunately teach civics in school anymore because they never taught it. I didn't get it at high school. Did you?
Yeah.
I got civics in college. I didn't get it in. Well,
I got it in college.
They probably got rid of it by the time I got to high school, but they had no civics in classes. Well, at Chesapeake High School in Anne Arundel County, which you see on the news having all these racial issues, they did not have civics classes, which I think they need to bring back. They really do, because people don't understand the symbolism of that whole. The way in which he looked. They don't understand.
And this guy actually, Roger Stone, he idolizes Richard Nixon. I mean, he actually has a tattoo of him
on his back.
So you can imagine when he goes to jail.
Yeah, man, it was a crook when he was impeached.
But his actual, he calls himself the trickster.
Right.
That's what he calls himself. So he knows where the bodies are buried. He knows where the bones are kept. He knows where the skeletons are. He knows everything.
So far, special prosecutor is 7 for 7.
Yes.
And I don't think that Stone will be any different.
Yeah.
You know, he's been convicted. He's been indicted. I think of 4 charges. And you know, he's talking about, I will be exonerated. No, you won't.
No.
Because Mueller is no joke. And Mueller goes in, and when he goes in, he already has all the evidence.
And if people don't think they gotta look and understand that this man is like, he is tight. It's nothing leaking out of his investigation. You don't have any leaks out of this investigation.
You don't know what
whatsoever.
he has.
You don't know what he has.
Yeah,
we know what he got. Because we got government workers back to work for 3 weeks. I really personally don't know what 3 weeks is going to do, because I truly believe that those people that missed all that money, it's going to take them 3 months to a year to get back whatever it is that they lost. You know what I mean? Like, you think about the people who may have clearances. Now it's been reported to the credit bureaus. So it affects your credit, which is going to affect your clearance, which is going to affect your money. So I mean, it's a rippling effect that people aren't paying attention to.
It
And
really is.
he had to.
He had
Super Bowl is next weekend.
Coming up, right.
Super Bowl is next
Not
weekend.
to mention, listen, I gotta give it to Nancy Pelosi. She was the only one that bitched up Trump.
No, I don't think it was Nancy. It's the Super Bowl.
No. She was a big part of it.
She was a big part of it.
And let me tell you what else was a big part of it.
Super Bowl sick out was also trending on Twitter. And they were more and more of them. And once it started in LaGuardia, and then it went down to Philadelphia, it was going to come right down the East Coast with BWI, Dulles.
Well,
Well,
just
see,
all
all of
of
that.
that.
And you were.
Was shut down.
Exactly.
Well, let me tell you, that was it. That was
Exactly.
more than
Shut
anything
down
else.
Friday.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of high-powered businessmen
That
who
couldn't
could
move.
not move.
Yes,
And when that
there
started
it is.
happening,
Yes.
and those calls
And
started
those
coming
calls,
in,
yeah,
it's a done deal.
That's
It's
it.
a wrap.
That's it. You
Yeah.
gotta do something
not
because
shutting
my
down
plane
nobody.
can't go nowhere.
My plane
My-
cannot
and,
move.
and I was shut down.
Because I'm not TSA, you do
Right.
realize that.
Right.
They replaced them.
Right.
Them air traffic
And-
controllers,
Right.
no plane
Yeah.
moves.
Oh, yeah, no
without
plane
right.
moving.
But didn't Ronald Reagan fire them back in the 80s? He fired every traffic controller. So
wow.
this man could have done the same thing. He could have fired every traffic controller. The problem is finding other traffic controllers at
That
that point to
fast,
replace.
right.
No,
Exactly.
that's gonna work for free.
Oh,
Because if you're gonna fire me, I gotta come to work and I gotta work for free. Something just does something to me. Just thinking like these people physically gotta get up and go in.
Yeah.
You gotta be on time.
Right.
You could end up on a pip.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just it was so many
It was
different
crazy.
things.
It was
so many
crazy.
different
All
things.
right. So listen, so
That's it.
I wanted to get into a little bit of that, but I also wanted to, so we want to kind of move a little bit into our topic. But, so our topic today is the most unprotected species. And let me give you a little explanation about that. Everybody watched the R. Kelly thing, and then I'm not going to get into a whole big part of that because everybody knows he's a sick man. He's still a sick man. I hope to God he gets some help. But there was one part in that story, and it may have been both parts, but there was one guy that
All
said,
6 parts.
yeah, one guy that said I think in the first series, the first show,
First.
he said, you know, he remembered himself walking into a room and seeing all these young black girls.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, looking like, okay, why are all these young girls here? And then he said, one thing that he said that struck me was like, he said, if all of these young girls were white, he would have not gotten away or even gotten as far as he has gotten to the day. So I'm thinking to myself, what I'm thinking to myself is that for us as black, brown women, you know, it's harder for us when it comes to that situation. Now, I'm not saying that it's in all cases, because we do have some cases where there are some white women who aren't believed. But majority of the time, it's mostly us.
Well, when he came in and on the documentary, he said that, you know, something went through me and I got triggered. Because you saw these young girls and you kept your mouth shut for the betterment of your check.
Yeah.
Because it became money over the fact that these girls were 12, 13, 14 years old. He even said, it was like, these were little girls. He was incredulous. He was surprised, you know, and it just, he didn't protect the little girls. He didn't say, you know what, all of y'all get out right now. I need to talk to you. You know, he didn't do that. What he did was kept his mouth shut, kept his head down, turned a blind eye, and collected his check. Yeah. And now, 20 years later, you're sitting on a documentary, and I have absolutely no remorse. I think everyone on that documentary that witnessed, that saw, that turned their head, that didn't say anything, every last one of them should have an indictment.
Just to kind of give you a little what I was talking about, and I read this off of one of the statistics for black women, white women, but they said more than 4 in 10 black women experience physical violence from an intimate partner during their lifetime. White women, Latinas, and Asian Pacific Islander women report lower rates. Black women also experience significantly higher rates of psychological abuse, including humiliation, insults, name-calling, and coercive control than do women overall. And more than 20% of black women are raped during their lifetime, and a higher share than among women overall.
So I have a saying that it don't only happen in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I can't talk to 4 black women and 2 of them have not been molested.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my very wide where I've lived in 6 states in the United States. So it's not a region, it's not a class.
Right.
And it don't only happen in West Virginia. And having a nursing background, I am trained to look at things for what it is and not by perspective. I've said unfavorable things about this show, and one of them was hurt people. R. Kelly was molested from 8 to 14.
That is true.
I'm not justifying it. It is what it is. I also anger people when I say, well, black women walk around more than any other women and say, well, I don't need nobody. So when he looked in the room and saw 12 girls, he said, they don't need nobody. Because then we just tell them that because I'm independent, I'm so strong, I don't need nobody, I don't need you. So we've conditioned a society to not protect us. And I'm willing to debate that with anybody who wants some of that.
There it is.
You're so strong, you're so independent.
Right.
Don't need anybody.
You got it.
Don't need anybody.
And
you got
this is how we are demasculating our protection.
Yep.
This is how we are throwing up the I got it, my sister friends got me. Well, then what's going to happen when it's all of y'all in there? Who's going to help you?
I mean, I tell you one thing, and there's no question about it. You already said it. The brother has some deep psychological issues, and they've manifested themselves in a number of ways. Like you said, hurt people. So there's no question about that. But that said, what calls to me the thing that should be called to question also is just about like how do 13, 14, 15-year-old girls get so much freedom as to be in the presence of a man like
a grown man.
A grown man,
regardless of R. Kelly.
For so much time. I don't understand it. Like if I had a girl, there's no way I would know where she was all the time.
I want to answer that.
I want to say that.
When you had sex in your mama bedroom, they wasn't there. When you smoked weed for the first time in the parents' basement, they wasn't there. And I really get sick of people blaming the parents.
No, but listen to me. Parents are responsible. I'm going to blame. Listen, I got 2 boys. And my boys, thank God, you know, I've never had a problem with either one of them. It's because I'm always there. I believe this, and this is my personal belief, and maybe not everybody will share it. When your kids have those kinds of issues, there is nobody else to blame but parents. Parents have a responsibility and a duty to protect their children. Period. That's your job on this earth when you have kids, to protect those kids. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't get around that protection. You make a good point. Because my first sexual experience happened, but guess where it happened? In my mama's house, not in somebody else's house.
Well, that's what I said, but why wasn't she there telling you not
because she might have been at work, but no, that's different because he got these kids in his home sometimes for extended periods of time. And I'm saying that is unconscionable.
Under the guise of
that should not happen.
It was under the guise of the young girls being getting into the music industry. And when you look at the way in which these young girls were able to have the access, I said the same thing. How did they have the access? Because my mother would, when we went to sleep at night, my mother did a check of the house, and then she did another check about 3 o'clock in the morning. It was no sneaking out of the house. Jackie was on patrol. You know, growing up, they called that house the precinct. We couldn't get out. We couldn't get out. My mother was, you know, she was there. Where are you going? Who you going with? Ma, can we go over so-and-so's house? Are their parents home? Let me speak to their parents. The parents aren't doing this nowadays. They're not doing this.
That's true.
So, well, let me because I actually am a product of child abuse. Not on my mom's, but sexual abuse. Now, in my situation, my mom was suddenly a single parent. And my dad walked out on us when I was little. And I was staying, you know, at the time, which she thought she could trust, you know, folks that we were living with, because at the time we were homeless. So we were living from this place, that place, to that place. So there was a young lady who was, you know, a teenager and was watching me. And at the time, I knew it was something off. But at the time, you know, being 6, 7 years old, I didn't know, like, this, like, you know, she's, you know, threatening me and all this stuff. So I couldn't say anything to my mom because I'm in a position where I'm afraid. So, you know, at the time, and my mom didn't know anything, nothing. She had, you know, and all she was thinking that, you know, I was just a shy person. So, you know, but I didn't tell anybody until I actually came here. And my aunt was like, something isn't right. And I didn't tell her everything, but I told her my mom, the first thing that my aunt, you know, she immediately went to my mom and said, you know what, something ain't right. You need to get her out of this situation. Or you need to get her away from her. And I didn't really express what was going on until after my mom moved us here. And I was able to tell her what happened. And my mom was like devastated because she's like, oh my gosh, she felt like she put her daughter
in danger.
Yeah, and she didn't know. It's hard.
When you were reading the statistics of the group, all I heard was this is a problem with socio-economic things, because most black women are at work. The one young lady in the R. Kelly film said, my mother didn't know I was missing because she was at work. These socio-economic issues, just like the furlough issues, they have trigger and domineering effect. If my mother wanted to keep the light bill on, she had to go to work. But now I'm home a whole 8 hours. Even with being raised right and her monitoring me and her wanting to do everywhere. I was molested by men in my family. So was I going to say something? Because where was I going to sleep after that? So that whole survival instinct also kicks in. And why would I tell on this real popular man because he about to change my life so I could buy my mother a house? It's simple, but it's not simple. But it's very attainable.
It is. And I mean, I'm a parent of 2 young girls. My oldest is 18, my youngest is 16. And I tell them all the time, text me, let me know where you are. And I'm the same way. If you're going over to somebody's house, I need to know who these parents are. I need to know where they are. I need to know what's going on because that has happened to me. So I am like more mindful because I don't want that to happen to my girls.
And maybe the takeaway for the parents who might be watching, right, and find themselves in a situation like you just described where they have to work 2 jobs just to make ends meet. Guess what? Communicating with that child, if you can't be there, then at least make sure you're in constant communication. Right? And you know, and then you can verify. You know, I think it was Reagan that said, you know, he said, believe it but verify. Trust but verify. Yeah.
So and they got these new cute little apps on the phone that the parents can monitor.
Oh yeah. You know, technology helps.
You know, technology does help. So.
And never underestimate the power of a perpetrator. They build relationships with your children, and their relationships are sustainable and strong. Well, when I ask my girls, because I've been molested, do so and so touch them, I put my hand around them and ask them in front of the person, because if your heart rate change, dude has a problem.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So when we come back, I know we come back.
We getting fussed at y'all.
We are. So when we come back, we're going to talk about victim blaming. And this is us as society blaming the victim for what happened to them. So don't go anywhere. We have more Women's Talk Live coming up next.
Hey!
Welcome back to Women's Talk Live. I'm your girl, April J.
I'm SassyScribe.
And our special guest today is Prity.
And Mr. Rod, A-Rod.
Yeah, and we are live at the Serenity Wellness Center located at 6670 Harford Road. So if you ever want to come and get a
vaginal steaming.
Yes.
You calling them yonies, damn it, it's a vaginal. Get a vaginal.
And
it will release everything.
Yes, it will. I tell you, I feel so much.
It's an amazing experience.
I feel like I just.
You know, I need to come here and do one because I did mine at home.
Oh.
I had the home kit. But it was great. I had to do 2 of them, get rid of that last one.
Oh Lord.
That jerk, he would not leave. He was trying to keep his grip on me. I had to do 2 of them.
I'm good with my one, right? I'm good, okay.
He didn't have like a lot of bad juju. This one had a lot of bad juju. I had to get rid of everything. I had to sage my house and shit. God, please.
Well, I got a nice little cocktail, so I'm good. All right. So listen. All right, so we get back into a little bit of our topic. Our next segment is called victim blaming. And victim blaming means victim is blamed when if something happens to them, whether it be rape, whether it be sexual assault.
I think it's like self-explanatory.
Right. So
we blame the woman for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, for wearing the wrong outfit, for saying the wrong things, or wearing low-cut shirts. I like low-cut shirts. I like my girls. I think they look pretty when they out a little bit and stuff. I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be accosted for that. For wearing that, I shouldn't be upset. And you see social media all the time.
Oh, they'll say, well, how much you have to drink?
Should this woman wear this to work? If it's tight fitting, should she wear this to church? Is this appropriate for a school teacher? If she has the body for it, whatever she puts on, unless it's a potato sack, is going to show.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. And
And a potato sack, it was, kind of.
No, but I mean, I'm being honest,
No,
really serious right now.
Right.
The way in which they cut clothes are differently, so everything is on a slim fit or a cut, a very, body conscious. So if she has the body and she's doing the work and she's eating right and she's working out and she earned the right to wear whatever it is that she wants, we can't blame her because her skirt may be short or, her heels are too high. We can't. But we as a society, we do that and it's accepted.
Right.
It's accepted.
You know what I want women to do too? If the cute guy at work touch your butt and you laugh, when ugly schmo tuck your butt, don't go before the maid
That's
door.
right.
Okay? Let's be
amen to
consistent.
that.
You got that, because I always said
Okay.
if Brad Pitt says something to you, you're going to joke about it.
Right.
But if George Costanza says something,
2
you're
minutes from now, it's about to be in the
That's
Mike
true.
Tyson
That's true.
documentary.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Be consistent.
That's right. You have to be consistent.
We have to expect to be treated
Right.
how we want to be
That's
treated.
true.
You train people how to treat you.
Yes,
So
you
no
do.
way did anybody on this earth think they could dance behind me tight at the club.
Yeah.
Because whether you Mike Tyson
Right.
or Michael Williams,
Right.
it ain't gonna happen.
It's interesting
Prince could have done
because.
it if he was still here for me.
See.
Well, yeah, that's me too. But what I'm saying, it's interesting because I met somebody actually at a party that me and Rod was actually in attendance to. It was a Christmas party. I ain't gonna say who, but
I know because I didn't go.
But myself and our super producer, Miss Ron Cox, actually went. And there was a young man that approached us, and we were talking some business a little bit. Rhonda was explaining, hey, listen, April was the owner of the network and everything that we were doing. So, he texted me and he said, hey, listen, I'm thinking maybe we can, maybe do dinner, and talk over some stuff. And I'm thinking it's business, because for me, like, I'm a businesswoman first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, so, what do you have in mind? And I'm thinking, like, what do you want to discuss as far as, business? So he texts me back. Oh, I'm thinking dinner, drinks, and the hotel.
Oh, he was going to take it to the sheets.
I said, and this is my exact text, sorry. I said, nigga, who do you think I am? Like, seriously? Did you just come at me like that? Are you serious?
What made him think that was okay?
I don't know.
Wait a minute. I'm going to tell you what made him think it's okay. That ain't the first time he done said that to a woman in business.
He ain't send that in a group text.
That's why he said what he said. Because other women, and I'm telling you, and I say this on my show all the time, women accept the bare minimum from people. Too low.
Way down.
It's like what this a friend of mine said. They applaud a fish for being a fish. Did you see him swim?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
breathing
But when I came back at him like that, he said, "Oh no, I do want to have dinner and talk about some business and stuff." I said, "If it's about business, that's different." I said, "But don't ever in your life come at me like that again."
I can't
Let
do
me ask you
business with
something.
people like that.
Did you progress in any manner with this young man? He couldn't set up a light. Yeah, no. No. Because I think you
At that
have
point,
to
it was
send,
done. Yeah,
send
that's
messages.
Right.
Because I'm
Yeah.
like, okay,
There's
if you don't
nothing
come at
left.
me like that, and I never gave you any inclination. I mean, don't get me wrong.
But
he
you
was a
look
nice
good.
looking- He was a nice looking young man.
You
but
got
my
a
thing
little
is,
bit down.
Don't
You know what I'm
come-
saying?
Don't come at me like that.
I know what you saying.
I'm gonna address with something you said earlier because I think it raises a really good point about how people interact in the workplace, right? So go back to your point. Let's say it's a woman. She's attractive, nice body. Let's say on the average she comes to work and she's dressed in just average clothes. But one day I've seen this happen. So this is like from a personal experience. Okay. She comes to work and then that one day you see her in something that fits different and she's just looking different. Like
She look good. She look
right?
good. You like, damn,
Right,
Sheila, what you got on?
Right, but I don't say that. But
No, but your whole mindset is like,
here's
would you like some coffee
Here's
this
my
morning?
point. Is this crossing the line in that situation? If that day, now you may have never said anything else, but that day you might make a move. Now, you might make a move. Is that sexual harassment on the job?
But you know what? And that is like two segments away.
Now,
We were
you
actually
know
going to
what,
talk about
Rob?
that.
That's a fuzzy
Because
already know
it is.
You don't shit where you eat. I'm sorry.
We actually, I had a conversation.
Okay.
I had a conversation earlier,
Yes.
and this gentleman said that if he was to run into a police station and said that he was being sexually harassed, people wouldn't believe him.
Right.
But to that statement you just made,
Right.
if he was to say, "Damn, Sheila, you look good," now she's accusing him of sexually harassment,
Right.
then she's automatically going to be believed, and he isn't. So he said it's different ways in which,
Right.
as men and women
Right.
in society, that we are viewed. He said, and he believes as matriarchal.
It is.
I believe it's patriarchal.
It is matriarchal when it comes to that, and I'm not just saying because of Me Too. Me Too has shifted the paradigm of patriarchal, matriarchal in terms of the social paradigm. That interaction has shifted it tremendously, right? But the shift started happening before Me Too. Me Too is the end of a momentum.
Let me tell you
It's
how
come to a full.
Sheila or whoever else clothes should never
Yeah.
determine your judgment.
It's not about judgment.
Oh,
It's
yes,
not,
it is.
No, listen, because my judgment about her didn't change. I didn't say, now I like her and I didn't like her before. All I said was that you see her, because men and women are very visual, especially men. I don't know if women are more visual.
Yes,
I'm not saying
indeed,
we are
I'm a
more,
visual woman.
but we are visual. So here's the deal. You could come to work in one way and just be in normal clothes, right? But you could come another day and now you're in something that comes off, watch this, sexy. Not in a bad way, it's just sexy. So now, like
That is your opinion, it's not a fact.
I know, but listen,
And
that's
then
what
the
we're talking about.
comment was processed here.
Right.
And somewhere between here and here lies your judgment. So
I
her
got you.
clothes should not determine the adjustment in your judgment.
I don't think I would disagree with you. I'm
All right
sorry.
now.
I would say I disagree with you.
All right.
I don't
This
think I
is why
judge
we
it
do
any
what we
differently.
do.
I think it's just that, like I said, if you now come, if I see you now in a different light that particular day, and let's just say it was nothing rude. My approach might not have been rude. It may have been very pleasant. But it doesn't matter because at that moment it depends on how you receive it.
It's called judgment.
I think it's how the person
No,
receives it.
we're gonna come back with that. Because that is gonna segue into our next segment on Me Too. So yeah, that was a great. I love y'all, but y'all just bringing everything up. So we're gonna be right back right after this break.
Two, yeah, he came in the wrong time. One.
Hey everybody, we are back. We are Women's Talk Live. I am SassyScribe. And I know we're live. I know y'all heard all of that offline. But listen, before the break, we were talking about victim blaming, and Rod made a very, very good point about what women are wearing, and Miss Prity chimed in on that, and the fact that we can't blame the victim for what she's wearing, which you brought up the Me Too movement. And you said the Me Too movement is like kind of like a new thing, but the Me Too movement has been around for over 10 years. It was started by Tawana Burke, and it only got...
I was just going to say something.
No. It was... I stopped. But it was started by her, but it only got traction when a celebrity tweeted it, and she was attributed to being the one who started. And she had to go back and put out a statement that no, she did not start it. It was started by this individual. Now, mind you, Tawana Burke, is an African-American woman.
Yes.
And once the traction hit with the celebrity who was white, saying what she said, that's when all of these, it's Me Too, and I did this, and then you have Harvey Weinstein, and then you had Les Moonves, and then you had Bill O'Reilly. You know what I mean? You had all of these individuals that have come out against that. I mean, have come out with all of these different things. And unfortunately, I feel sorry for men. Because if you said something in your 20 and you're 50 years old now, you got these women like, oh,
Here it comes.
I remember it.
Right.
Yeah.
As women, regardless of race, and I'm going to say this, regardless of race as women, we tend not to believe each other.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
And we saw that
is
with
true.
Bill Cosby, why they wait 20 years.
The election.
The election, we saw that with the election, with this man grabbing crotches, and he still got elected.
Right.
We saw it with the Brett Kavanaugh,
Brett
and no
Kavanaugh,
one
yeah,
not believing
nobody believes
Dr.
that.
Blasey Ford.
Right.
So we as women need to do better
Yeah.
with each other.
That's
We
true.
need to,
That's
I don't
true.
care if her shirt was low cut, if her
Right.
skirt was short, if her heels were high, she had
Or
on
she
so
had
much
something
makeup,
to drink.
or she had something to drink. Recently.
Yeah.
The woman is raped in an Atlanta nightclub, and no one says anything.
Oh my God.
No one says anything.
On live.
He drugged her.
Yeah.
He put it on live, and no one called the police, and no one said anything. So when you talk about unprotected, this is what we mean by that. Yeah. And then I just had a personal experience recently where if it wasn't for my video surveillance, who knows what this guy could have done, but he was on my property. Now this is the third time that this guy has been caught, but they keep making excuses for him because something's wrong with him. And then I told the office, I said, if he looked like me, you would have had him locked up already as a menace. I don't want him on my property.
Right.
Because bad things could, could happen. But luckily, all he did was take my newspaper and throw it on my stuff. I don't care. I don't want him on my property. But it was the first time that I really felt 100% unprotected.
Right.
Yeah. My man can't get to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My brother can't get to me. My other friends can't get to me.
Right.
I felt isolated. I felt alone, and I felt unprotected. So I know what it feels like. And if something was to happen, you can't blame me as a victim.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
You can't do that.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
And they don't know who she is. They don't know who she is.
Yeah.
Because we don't say their names loud enough. We talk about the Tamir Rices and all of the Mike Browns and the Freddie Grays, but we don't talk about the Sandra Bland, which is their great documentary on HBO right now.
That's true.
You know what I mean? That we don't talk about these different things that shows the plethora of faces of women that
Or
look
even
like
the
us.
young lady.
Centonia Brown is what happens when I have to protect myself. And then still, the judicial system doesn't protect me.
Doesn't protect me. Exactly.
That's like with the young lady that we saw at McDonald's.
Yeah.
And the excuses
Like,
that we
nobody
saw.
was there.
But the excuses that when I posted it on my page,
they work there.
She worked there.
Yeah, I saw that.
And the men were saying, "Well, I'm not going to lose my job fooling with her."
Yeah.
But when you did react,
Right.
why'd you grab me?
Exactly.
And
not him.
That disturbed me. So
Yeah.
if you're going to react, why are you grabbing the victim? I don't care what she was laying on him. That's why I never spoke to that. I kept saying, where are the men for her?
For her.
They were there, but they didn't
She
show
had
up.
to defend herself.
She did.
And that was sad.
She handled
It was
though.
sad.
She did.
But she should not have
She should
answered.
not have had
She
to
should
do
not have
that.
answered.
And I want to say this. I don't think black women are angry. We are so disappointed. We are so disappointed.
Can you say that again?
Yeah.
Can you say that again?
Yeah, I mean,
and
I
that's
know
what you
wonderful
don't understand.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's not that we are angry, but when you talked about I told you I wanted to talk about men too. Terry Crews, how he got castigated and denigrated when he said that one of the Hollywood producers groped him.
Exactly.
And when he came out about it, it was like,
Yeah.
why would he say that? He must be gay,
but you know what he
he
said?
wasn't believed.
He
This
said,
big man.
He said more women believe
Black
him
women.
than men.
Yep.
But we can't believe each other.
We can't believe each other.
Yeah. That's the
crazy.
Yeah, and Terry's a big.
He's a big
Big
guy.
guy.
He's a big guy.
I mean,
guy.
you know, the guy was pretty bold to do that.
Yeah,
To him without
pretty
getting
bold.
2-piece.
But you know what's interesting is that I've heard. I actually sat down with a actor that's done a lot of acting. If I say his name, some people might not know him, some people might know him. But he's been in a lot of movies. Recently, he just did a big movie with Denzel. Bottom line.
Say his name.
Well, it is Michael T. Williamson. So.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
So
I
he
like
was in
him.
Fences,
Yeah,
right?
oh,
He was
yeah.
in Fences.
A bunch of movies.
Y'all remember him from the Waiting to Exhale? He said,
Right,
"You
Waiting to Exhale.
raggedy."
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So I remember we were having a conversation one day sitting at the bar, and he was telling me, he said, "Man, you know what?" He said, "More people would know my name if I was if I would do some of the things that some of these producers get us to do as black men in Hollywood."
Putting on dresses.
Not just putting on dresses.
Right.
I'm talking about way past putting on dresses.
Off
So he
Taking one for the team.
Taking one
Taking
for the
one
team.
for the team.
And he said, you'd be surprised how many actors have, I mean, black men that I know that have, you know, been in that situation without naming any names. But he said, yeah, he said it's unbelievable how many people have been, you know, they are forced to be in that situation. So yeah, in terms of, you know, men having to deal with that, it's sort of a quiet kept thing, but it's been around for a long time. Men have been dealing with it I'm not gonna say as much as women, because it has been. We've been a patriarchic society for a long time, and women have really been subjugated for a long time. You know, and so you can't put them on the same level. But like the fact is, it is apples and oranges. It is apples and oranges, and it wouldn't be fair to try to put it. But I would say that there's been many instances where men have found themselves in that same kind of situation.
Well, you know, that when you say that, it's like the things that people do for money.
Oh yeah.
And for fame.
Oh my God.
You know, and like in Hollywood, and I used to say this because I dated a music producer, and I used to say this, it's a seductive industry where people want to, where we were just talking about Fire Island, where people want to be part of that connected and in crowd.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because, like I said before, you know, my ex-husband was actually in that industry.
Yeah.
And I mean, the amount of stuff that was known, not only known,
open secrets. They were open secrets.
And nobody said anything. And it was just, I mean, there were times where I cringed at some of the things.
Because the bottom line was money.
It is
and
money.
We have to change the concept of what the doorkeeper looks like.
Right.
So why do I have to be naked or do extra to perform well, which is what I do? You know, I pursued singing for a while. And no, I ain't losing no weight, because this is where I'm at. My voice comes out of all this, and this is who I am. And I won't say the record label name, but basically my deal was cut, because the first thing I replied back to was, I'm not losing no weight. Image consultant, nothing. I'm here for talent.
Right.
You know, and yeah.
But didn't they
quick
just
response back.
I know we gotta wrap it up, but didn't they just do that to the girl on Hip Hop Miami, La Negra? What's her name? The beautiful
Spanish,
the beautiful
Afro-Spanish.
the Afro Caribbean I think she's called an Afro Latino, whatever.
Yeah.
But she's a beautiful woman. But the producer was like, you don't quite have that look, the Afro, you gotta straighten your hair, and you know, maybe
I know who you're talking about.
her name is La Negra. She's beautiful, but
beautiful.
the image that they needed her to portray, and she was like, I'm not changing my look to suit somebody else. And I love the fact that she stood firm, and she wasn't going to let the record label, the producers, the industry dictate how she was going to look. This girl has this beautiful, creamy brown skin. I mean, she's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful. And her afro was out like Diana Ross back in the day. She was amazingly beautiful. And they want her to change. So it's like this whole MeToo movement and Men Too, it affects everybody, and everybody needs to just govern themselves accordingly. And everybody is not trying to shoot their shot with you if they say you look nice today.
Ron, what do you think is going to happen with Terry? Like, really? Are they going to make him pay?
I doubt it.
No, because Brooklyn Nine-Nine is still on air.
Not only that, I mean, he's, you know, what is this new show that he's hosting? It's the reality show that Terry's hosting. Are you talking about Cruz? He's hosting a show now.
And Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No, he just did a segment on The Bachelor, him and his wife.
No, I'm not talking about that. It's a show or talent show that he's hosting. I just saw it last night before last. Yeah, it's actually, I was surprised to see him, but he ripped it. Yeah, he ripped it. So yeah, I think he'll be all right.
His wife is beautiful. I had an opportunity to meet her, and I actually interviewed her on.
Oh, really?
She was a guest on our radio show.
Okay.
And I mean, beautiful lady. Really into fitness and everything. And one of the things that she said during that interview that I remember when he first came out, she said, you will be surprised the type of treatment that my husband goes through.
I wouldn't.
And she never expounded on it, but she did make a statement saying that you will be surprised. And I was just like sitting there, and I was just like, you know, waiting for her, but she never went. And I didn't go too much into it, because sometimes people, they say things, but then they don't
realize that they probably said a little too much. But people don't understand that the industry itself is grinding. I mean, you had Corey Feldman and Corey Haim from like the Lost Boys of fame, who talked about how the producers were molesting them. I mean, Drew Barrymore was a drug addict at 8 years old. The things that they do to get what they need out of you, and then nobody says
Those
anything.
B2K boys all came out and said they were all molested.
Yes, yes.
And we just said, oh.
Yeah, okay, and then
Like,
next,
but it's
right,
never-
and no one paid attention to it.
We can't ignore
I
this
missed that.
men too.
Yeah, I missed that. Wow.
Mm-mm.
All right,
The
y'all.
men too, that's right, men too.
All right, y'all. So
That was good.
this was a good
Excellent.
Great
segment.
conversation.
Good segment. Yeah. All right. So when we
Next
come
week we can have
back,
naked people. I'm just joking.
girl, see you already.
I'm lying. Don't take it like that. I'm lying. I'm just joking. Blame it on the goose.
Blame it on the Prince glass.
Naked people would be good.
Right.
No, I would like to see it. I mean, I don't know if we could get away with it on Facebook,
Can we
but
start with body paint?
Yeah, we gonna
we could do body paint.
Yeah,
Naked men.
Yeah, we'll be blocked. See, she would love that.
Pause.
I don't know. All right, y'all. So when we come back, we're gonna wrap up the show. So don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back. Women's Talk Live. Like I said before, our off-air conversations are everything.
And y'all heard it.
That's why y'all
We
need to
were
be
live.
on.
Unless you are on our pages, But if you are on Women's Talk Live, or if you are on WPBMediaNetworks.com,
Yeah, you did see it.
You didn't see it. You actually saw commercials. So,
Right.
but our off-air commercials are.
And we're losing light.
We are losing light.
We're
I
losing
like
light,
it.
so-
I done gave up. I'm
They
sorry.
told us to let us eat cake, and now we're gonna say let there be light.
So again, we are at the beautiful Serenity Wellness Center. And I can't stress enough that this is a black-owned business, which I am personally, I love to support black-owned businesses.
Amen.
Especially black women, because I think that we should definitely support each other. If we can support the
Yep.
Asians.
Harris girls, we're gonna come up here and go
Okay,
shopping before
exactly,
Jamaica.
Exactly.
Just put it on the calendar.
And I will be back because I definitely love, like I said,
She needs another yoni steam.
Yes. Yes. Girl.
Gonna say that.
Girl, let me tell
Then
you.
after you do the yoni steam, get an egg.
Massage.
She gonna need a yoni egg.
Yeah.
You
But
gonna
I
need
love
a yoni
it. I love it.
egg.
I love it. Hey, listen. Now here, real quick, because not only do you offer services, but you also offer a membership, which I'm actually going to get. But tell everyone as far as the membership, what would that involve?
Membership is one service. It could be a specialty service like heated stone, infrared sauna blanket, bamboo massage, or you can get your traditional Swedish massage. You can get a yoni membership, or you can get a facial membership.
Okay.
Tell everybody,
What is
because
bamboo?
people don't understand yoni.
Yeah.
Just let's give
And bamboo too. I bought some bamboo.
Bamboo is where we use glazed bamboo sticks
Oh.
to do the deep tissue massage. And,
Yeah, I'm
and
not
the
gonna do
yoni
that.
steam is your entire reproductive system is a yoni. Men can do yoni steams.
All
And
the
it helps
yoni.
with BPH and prostatitis.
So
and
glad her name is
AED.
across your.
I don't have
Okay.
ED.
All right.
I don't have BPH that I know of.
But it
I
helps,
don't
it
have no
also, and
prostate
it helps
issues.
with GI issues.
So what
and,
happens with that? Can you go a little more?
Yeah,
just
the
a little?
yoni is
Yes.
a treatment that uses concentrated herbs based on your own personal assessment,
Mhm.
and they're heated up to a place where the steam that comes off them is very concentrated, and you absorb the herbs through a body orifice so that it's rapidly and effectively in your bloodstream.
Body orifice.
Yeah.
One
For
of the-
women,
for
it
you,
is
that
the
would be
reproductive
Or
area.
like an ear maybe?
No,
No.
the reproductive
No.
area.
Oh.
It does wonders. It's a vasodilator,
Uh-huh.
i.e.
Okay, I understand how y'all get into
Say it again. It's a what? Say it again.
Vasodilator.
Vasodilator.
Okay,
Ooh,
veins.
that even sounds good, don't it?
You can talk more about that off air. I want to know more about that. Yes.
I highly recommend the steams.
Yeah.
And my next step is the eggs. And the
Yes.
one I saw Yoni wand.
Yes.
Yes.
A yoni
A
one
wand
Yes.
tightens you back up.
tightens you back.
And as you get older, you know, and you know this
All
because
muscles loosen.
you're in the nursing
Right,
industry.
right.
I heard one of the gynecologists I interviewed a while back said it was like if you get like 2, 3, or 4 fingers, and then that's something you need to
work
you
on
need
that.
to work on
Really?
that. And he said that it really happens when women they have children, but
Yes.
even just as you get older,
It's
the
the
whole
muscle,
wall,
it
the
relaxes.
muscle relaxes. So the yoni wand, I'm told I want to get one. Instead of going to all of the vaginal rejuvenation for $50,000,
Yes.
you get a wand for
Don't do
$100
that.
or $50 or $20, whatever the wand costs, and it'll
Good old aloe
bring your
vera.
back.
Good old aloe vera.
Okay, I'm gonna need that.
should be
I'm gonna
good.
need that.
Oh, wait a minute, she said aloe vera. Aloe vera.
Promote the only ones. You only ones need to be out there.
Aloe vera directly applied will bring you Snapchat.
Yeah.
Where am I
Yo,
going on my way home?
be a spokesman.
I'm gonna go get me some aloe vera. Okay, y'all. All seriousness, we need to do our final thought.
No, I know. Okay, just real quick.
And she digressed.
I digress. Because I need to know these things. I'm 43 years old. I need to know these things. So,
The title is
y'all
You can only use one, you only one at a time. Is that your question?
She told me I could get every 2 weeks if I want to. Okay?
You could. And the yoni one is about that big. I'll show you.
I'm about to put that money aside every 2 weeks.
Got the extended version.
Self-care.
It's self-care.
Self-care line item.
Yeah,
Now listen, I came here yesterday. Well, it was yesterday when we came. I came, like I said, with our super producer, Rhonda Cox, and the beautiful Donzella.
Yes.
Yeah, she was awesome, wonderful. And we came, and it was like a spa day for the girls. And we sat, and, we were sitting, and, then, it was just so relaxing. And then,
You just
after
feel the
that,
essence just flowing
and
out.
you sit and you just laying, and you like,
You
oh
can feel
my
a few
gosh.
things, you're right.
Yeah, I was
Namyo Renge Jared.
I'm not fooling with you. I'm not fooling with you.
I want to be yoni master.
May the force be with you.
But you know what? You're laughing, but men need to think about that.
Men come and get it.
Men
That's it. That's it.
I'm telling you.
Men, get your ladies a yoni membership.
Now listen, that's not breaking a man law because you know how y'all are.
No, there's there's privacy even when you're in the room together.
It is, yeah. Because it was very, she said, she walked us through it and everything.
And you're
so,
covered up and you're on your phone and you're talking and you're draped. So
yeah.
I have been talking about it for the last 2 years. I've been talking to my family about it. I've done 2 at my own. I've done them at home.
Okay.
I've not gone out and done it. I've
done 3.
done it at home. So
And I slept nicely today.
You've done
Okay,
3.
so listen, so next
Here.
First time it was freaky.
So
The second time it was
All right,
freaky.
so Sassy, next month when we come back, because I'm definitely doing one once.
Okay, all right.
When we come back, we're gonna call you and bring you in.
Get you a professional yoni
We
steam.
doing it, Rod. We gonna do it.
That's cool.
I'll do it live.
And then we will have men's Donnie steam.
Which y'all don't see, we got 2 men behind the camera, so they all gonna do a spa day.
Yeah.
David, you in for it?
We doing it next week.
It's a vasodilator.
Do it for Super Bowl game.
Ain't nothing sticking up, right?
There's no wands. It's all steam.
I don't know
It's all steam.
So is this gonna be live stream? Or
No, we don't do no
I'm not live streaming that because next week
No. You're not getting it.
All the difference one letter can
Live
make.
steam instead of a live stream.
Yeah, do a live steam.
We're gonna do
Y'all do a
live
live
stream.
steam
Instead of a
y'all
live
I
talk
think I
about
would
it.
do it. I'm in.
No, we in. We're doing it,
I
right?
think you do. There's no wands going anywhere.
Good.
It's all steam.
Miss Prity,
It's
Miss
all
Prity, you gotta
steam.
tell me the ugly details about
Offline, we'll talk to you.
Yeah, Miss Prity will walk you through it. Trust me, she will walk you through it. I felt when she came in, she explained everything. I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. Okay. Sat down, I was like, oh. I mean, the first 2 minutes, I was like, oh.
It's different, ain't it? You like, ooh,
Something is going on.
something is happening. I just don't want the fertility part. I'm 52.
Yeah, no, we don't.
I don't want the fertility part. I'd be real mad though.
Listen, I told her, I said, listen, I ain't got to worry about none of that. Like I said, I got 2, I got an 18 and 16. I ain't trying to start over. They gone. The tubes are gone. So I don't need none of that. But, okay, I am over 40.
The snapback is one.
So, I love it.
Okay, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up.
We're doing too much. We're doing
Sorry, y'all. We're
Okay,
doing a
real
little too
quick
much.
before we do our final thought, because I really want to get into A-Rod real quick, because you have a book coming out
Yeah, eventually. I mean,
eventually.
yeah, so I am still working on finishing it up and trying to decide what publisher to go with.
Okay.
I really want to go with a bigger publisher this time. I think Redwood could have gotten a lot more. I mean, Redwood did well, but it could have got a lot
And
more
it was very
traction.
good.
It's a good
It was
book,
good.
and I'm not saying it just because I wrote it. I mean,
crazy though.
People who
tell
read the
people a
book from all
little bit
over.
differently.
Yeah.
Just real quick, tell them what that book was about.
So Redwood was based on a true story. It was a nonfiction about what happened, really, essentially, at the Redwood Grill. What made it a compelling story was that, not only did we host Will Smith and Jada's engagement party and Gene Hackman's parties and stuff like that, but we had a cook who was a serial killer, and we didn't know it. The FBI was looking for him at the time. Seriously, it's a deep story.
It is a deep story.
And then at the end of the book, I talk about the person we sold the grill to, who was a con man that had duped a bunch of companies all around the world. And so we took him to court, and there were 9 other companies suing him at the same time. So the story of Redwood was it was a crazy story. So it was a lot of good things. It's all of what we experienced. It's sex. It tells the story of what happened at Redwood. So
He worked at Eden's Lounge too.
Yeah, He did. He worked at Eden's Lounge. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. I didn't know. Yeah.
So listen, pick up that book. Where can they pick up that book if they want?
Still, it's still Amazon. It wasn't Barnes and Nobles. Most of them still carry it. There's an audio version of Redwood, and I'm working on a second book that's fiction, but based on a lot of non-fictional things. But it is. I guarantee you. I promise you this. It's going to be a very, very profound read. It's going to be a book you would not sit down, you won't want to put down, and it's going to deal with some very deep issues around race, complexion, and what I call a term I've created called the complexion economy. I'm telling you, this book going to take it to another level. Yeah, I'm coming.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
Well, I want to play the light skinned girl.
You can.
You got it. You got it.
But I want to roll. But listen, pick up his book, Redwood.
Yeah.
And you definitely want to pick that up. And the next book. So when you have that book and you got to come back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
He's a friend to the show.
Yeah.
So like I said before, you did, the last show, I was so surprised.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
we had.
Hopefully we get a lot of good feedback on this one.
Absolutely.
I think we will.
Right, and don't forget, Women's Talk is going into its 9th season. 9th season. We've been on the air for 9 years, and we've gone through so many.
Some transitions.
Yes.
Some transitions.
So this season, we are auditioning for probably 1 or 2 new co-hosts, depending on how me and Sassy's want to. But our super producer is she's giving me all kinds of directions.
February 1st.
But February 1st is the deadline.
12 p.m. 12 p.m. at February 1st.
You have to submit
Which
a
is
headshot.
Friday.
Yes, Friday.
This Friday coming.
Exactly. So you got to submit a headshot, a resume, and a sample 60-second video.
3 things.
Yeah.
You got 1 job, you got to do 3 things.
And then we're going to hold, based on all the submissions, we're going to hold a casting call. For you to come in and sit down with us and just do a quick,
maybe like 2 5-minute segments. I mean, my 1 5 minutes, or maybe not even 5 minutes.
It's not gonna be on live stream or anything. Like just seeing how you kind of flow with the ladies. All right, so make sure.
April being nice about it.
Nice. I'm being nice.
You gotta be able to fit
exactly
the personality.
Exactly. Because Women's Talk, like I said, it's been a long running show.
Sort of like you saw today.
Yeah, it's been, but it's been a long running show, and it was actually one of the first shows on WPB radio at the time. And like I said, many times before, I started it with B. West, may she rest in peace. But she started the show with me, helped me name the show, and it just kind of grew. And we went through a lot of co-hosts, we went through a lot of changes. But all in all, like, it still stood through the changes, the ongoing just, switches and all that stuff. So right now, me and Sassy
it's been able to readjust itself after each transition.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and Sassy's been with me for quite a
5
while.
of the 4 of 9.
Yes. 5 of the 9.
5 of the 9.
5 of 9, yeah.
I'm going to shut up because it's the alcohol.
Well, we like to have fun. We like to enjoy, the show. We like to, make our guests feel like it's an intimate conversation. So if you're interested, please email your submission to wtl.wpbmedianetworks@gmail.com. All right, so
That's good.
by Friday, 12 p.m. And our producer will,
Shut it
she
down.
will shut it down. Okay.
I appreciate her for that.
Oh, she's awesome. She's
I'm very
awesome.
deadline focused and very deadline driven.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, this was good.
Thank you, Miss Prity,
Thank
for letting us come here
you.
today to
Yes,
Serenity
this was
Wellness.
awesome. This was awesome.
And thank you, Rod, for coming out.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, so I'm gonna go into our final thought today. As everyone, if you have
Third time.
been, did you just say?
She said the third time. This is the third time that we've gone into the final thought.
Okay, all right,
Let's
I'm
do the
sorry.
final thought. Let's do the final thought. Okay.
All right, so I always end the show with a final thought, just kind of wrapping up everything that we talked about. And this is a quote from the fabulous First Lady.
Former First Lady.
No, still
Forever
Still,
First Lady.
forever First Lady.
Forever First Lady.
Michelle Obama. And quote, as women, we must stand up for ourselves, for each other, for justice, for all. I am your host, April J.
I'm SassyScribe.
And for Miss Prity and A-Rod, thank you so much. And listen, we will be live next month, the last Sunday of February. So make sure you're tuned in right here on our Women's Talk Facebook page and WPBMediaNetworks.com. All right, so thank you guys. We'll see y'all next time.
Thank you.
Peace.
And we